Everyone, this is a Viper Professional Training and Support webinar. Today's date is April 8th, 2024, and this is a Monday night webinar, and the title of tonight's webinar is Midband, Phantom, and Trend Change Trades. And as everyone knows that's been to our webinars or live trading room, everything that's said and done at Viper Trading Systems is for educational purposes only. Futures trading, Forex trading, any kind of financial instruments trading involves risk. Therefore, there's always risk of loss. You should only trade discretionary capital, and that is money that you can afford to lose. Nothing said in this webinar. Other webinars I have, live trading room or anything else with Viper Trading Systems, should ever be construed as trading or investment advice. And as always, everyone does trade at their own sole discretion. Any questions on the disclaimer? All right, let me go over a little bit of basically what I'm going to talk about tonight. Bear with me a second. I'm going to pull it up, and bear with me a second. All right. Most everything that I'm going to talk about tonight is going to be able to be found in your members area. Okay. In your members area, you've got a really good little trading manual that you'll want to download, put it on your computer's desktop or a download folder or whatever. But I do have that little manual up here. So it's a PDF file. You don't have to download it each and every time. You can just download it to your desktop so you can open it right up. Okay. But what we're going to talk about tonight is going to be these trading tools right here. Midband trades and phantom trades for the most part. Those are our go-to trades. They have been for a number of years. We like them. They work. And especially if you tie them together with Fibonacci's, they work really, really well. Okay, so if you want to, for instance, know about, like, for instance, the phantom, just simply click on this little deal right here, and it'll go right to a phantom page, how they set up, and then there's a video right here. And exactly what I'm going to talk about tonight is explained in about 19 minutes in that video right there. Okay, then on midband trades, a little bit more in depth, you just click on the same like that. There's your midband video right here, and you just click on it and it plays. Okay, so let's take that down. And just remember, everything that the training and everything is always on your login. So you just simply go to your members area, and you've got your modules. You've got your members area, your weekly links for the webinars and the trading room. You can download the latest scripts. The latest scripts as of right now is dated 3/22 of 2024. We haven't changed anything, but I have got a few little add-ons for you I think you'll like. All right. And then this is really important right here, because I get a lot of people, new people especially, they'll go, can you give me basically a breakdown of everything y'all do? And not really, because if you study these tutorials in Object Trader, there's a lot of videos here all about how to use Object Trader. So be sure and study all those and then ask questions, because I'm here to answer them, but everybody needs to do their homework too. Okay, I don't know why Gracie's going crazy. Okay, so let's go ahead and go. We've already done the disclaimer, so let's take this down. And what I did right off the bat, oh, by the way, we're going to do a new toolbar. Basically, instead of an add-on toolbar, it's an indicator, so you'll be able to put it on your charts if you want to. This new little pencil right here, we're in the process of trying to get an icon, but this is your measured move. I'll show that to you in a little bit, but that's going to be our measured move. And our new horizontal line indicator will also keep up with the exact ticks on like ES or any of them that have, like a quarter point or something like that. Okay, it'll just lock right into it. So that's kind of a little bit that's going on, and there's a few other things that are going on too. The programmer is working on stealth to make it a very, very good trading system, and he's also going to be working on automating some of these. He's been really paying attention in the room, and he thinks he can do us an automation. So we're going to see on that, but don't hold me to it for a while, because we're going to be testing the daylights out of it once he gets it. Okay, a recording of this will be, Wayne, I will send it to the list that I sent it to about 32,000 people on Sunday, and I'll put out that same email. Absolutely. Okay. So if you have to leave, it's no big deal. It is being recorded. Okay. Now, what I want everybody to see, we're going to talk about midband trades and we're going to talk about phantom trades. Okay. But first off, you've got to know the direction that your trade is going. Okay. That's extremely important. You've got to know where your line in the sand long short is. You've got to know, for instance, this looks kind of like a downtrend to me, doesn't it to you? Pretty much a downtrend. And this was yesterday at 5 p.m. when the market opened. Okay. But, the one thing you want to make sure of when you're trading is that you're going the right direction. Unless you're just literally jumping in and scalping for a few ticks here and there, which is also possible. But I would highly recommend going with the trend. The overall trend you can get a lot of times by just simply using the control key and the left mouse button, and that's your trend right there. Okay, that's telling me right this very moment that I'm looking at this chart that basically, see where my horizontal line is. It's a little different here. Let's raise. There's horizontal line. Okay, that to me tells me that anything under this, I'm going to be looking for shorts. Okay, and it's pretty simple to do on your charts too. I mean, just draw your lightning. It's real easy. Okay, so by looking at this little toolbar is totally different, so I'm going to have to figure out where everything's at. Oh, and also the programmer is going to make it to where you can choose which one of these you even want on here. You can choose to go sideways with them, you go up and down, or you can do a block like I did right here. And you'll be able to choose. For instance, I don't use basically like Andrew's pitchfork or Fibonacci circles and things like that. So I'll just take those out of my toolbar. But it's not ready just yet. It's almost ready. Okay. Everybody see this so far though. First off, you want to diagnose your chart. Okay. Once you diagnose your chart, you know which way you're going to be heading if they decide, for instance, to break up. They would break above this swing right here and they would kiss it and then they would take off. If they go anywhere under it, you would be looking to short it. And it's that simple. That absolutely that simple. Price action, in my personal opinion, is key to success in trading because you can put all the indicators on your charts. They're very lagging a lot of times. You're going to miss some good trades because you're trying to look at guidance charts and maybe you're looking at a 15-minute chart or a 10-minute chart. You'll find that price action is key to doing everything you want it to do. This will remove the drawing, Kenneth, but it doesn't remove individually. That's inside NinjaTrader. Remember in NinjaTrader 7 that they used to have it where, like, if you had a fib extension and a circle or whatever, you could remove them one at a time, or that particular type of tool, you could remove them. You can't do that in Ninja 8. And it's them. It's not anything to do with what we can or can't do. We were barely able to get a trash can on this particular toolbar right here. This NinjaTrader toolbar that we Kuipered onto, and that will remove like your lines and stuff like that. See, like that. Okay. So, like I said, you want to diagnose your chart first. Extremely important. Once you diagnose your chart and you know which way you're going, and by the way, you know which way you're going by our colors. Okay, let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, does that look like an uptrend? And we drew on our chart, right? The same chart. All I got to do is go back up here and draw my lightning 3, and you'll see that it's the same chart. Okay, so this tells me still that if this, well, that's weird, my horizontal line went to a different spot, didn't it? This tells me that if this actually gets taken out, they're going to be heading up. But until then, what am I to do as a trader? Anybody? We're going to box in a phantom, to give an example. Now, let me go over just real quick what a phantom truly is, okay? A phantom comes in basically two colors, so to speak, okay? This color right here, as long as you're also trending down, that's very important. As long as you have this color, you're looking for a short phantom, okay? If you've got this longer color right here, see if we can find one. Matter of fact, here's a good one right here. Even though this changed to a red background, see this color right here? This is telling you that's still looking for a long. It just went a little bit deeper, but that trade would have been called in our room if we'd been open at that time because we box those in. But see, every time that you see a phantom, let's see if I can find some more. Here's a phantom right here. Decent phantom, at least 10 ticks. Let's see if we can find another one. There's a phantom short. There's a phantom long. There's a beautiful phantom long right there. See how these work? The phantom, what you're actually looking for is this is the color for longs, and this other color over here is the color for shorts, okay? Now, there's still a caveat to that we always look at, and that is if you're going sideways and you're not really going to the downside, for instance, you don't really want to take a phantom, okay? Because this could easily be a phantom that breaks this and heads up. But this is stair stepping though. See how you've got a high, a low, a lower high, and a much lower low? This is stair stepping. So that's telling you that more than likely that phantom will work, okay? But as any trade that we take, we're very cautious and make sure that our trade goes our direction, but we already have a stop. See it? In other words, if I was to short this right this very second, I could put my stop right there at that line. It would be that easy to do. Okay. This is a short phantom because you are literally stair stepping down. And first time into a phantom after a trend change, according to our people, now I've never put it to the pencil of my trades and everything, but I can tell you they work very, very well. And this, our people say, is about an 85% probability trade. Okay. Does everybody see here though, that if you took this trade right here, drawing on your charts, that you could literally put your stop just above that line right there? So maybe, yeah, that's 11 ticks, but I can guarantee you this, that if this was not to work and they did break this line, you're more than likely going to get a move all the way up to this area because they would be breaking trend then. So we're not afraid to take these, but keep in mind that if it was to do, let's see where my arrow went. Ray, horizontal line, arrow line, there we go. All right, if this was to break up like this and then come back and kiss, then we would definitely be looking for a long instead, okay? Go ahead and change that to long for right now. All right, you would definitely be looking for a long if it was to do something like that, okay? And this is pretty much elementary stuff to our people that have been with us a long time. But believe me, a lot of traders come in and they've been so used to, being told all about the, the VWAPs and the RSIs and the, you know, everything that's out there, CCI, you name it. And I can tell you this, that if you'll learn to trade price action, you'll be a better trader than all of them put together because it works. Okay. Because with our scripts which direction you're going. And if they change trends, we're ready to take it. If it bipped up above here and pulled back and kissed that line, I'd take that long in a heartbeat. Okay. Well, it broke lightning too, Mindy. You're right on that. But keep in mind that what they actually do, see now this is a low, a high, a higher low, and a higher high, right? But for this to really head up, it has to break this 1, 2, 3. That's a good observation, by the way. Let me see if I can find the line. Where's the regular line? All right, see how this went up here. Came back here, like so, And that's like a little ABC retracement, okay? And what you got to look at when you're trading this, if it was going to be a breakup, it would have to actually break up and come back and kiss this area and still head up. But first time into Phantom after a trend change is a pretty viable trade to actually take and make money on, especially if your trend, got the arrow that time, if your trend is still down. Okay, see that just kind of did that. So far, all you've got is a 1, 2, 3, but it really hasn't pulled back, held a higher low, and taken off. And that's what you're really looking for. Okay, now does that mean that you couldn't have taken a little break above here, taken a chance on it? Yeah, you could do that. But always keep in mind that if you get in it and it comes even back to your cost, you better get out of it. And you might ought to flip it even because that's still a short. Okay. So what we've got in Viper trading systems, though, we've got actually tools that'll trade these. Okay. For instance, if you go to your object trader strategy, let me go ahead and get our object trader strategy up here. Just bear with me just a second. All right, here we go. This is our object trader. For people that have never seen this, this is what we call object trader. And you can actually choose different object types to take. Now you have to learn how they work and how to do them and everything. But for instance, on this trade here, you could draw a trend line under those lows. You could actually turn on Phantom, which would be this trade here to the short side. You turn it on multi-object types, turn it on short. You would turn on, let's see, we got Phantom. You could do a trend power dot. You could even do a power dot because it's already retraced up here. So if they get any power dot, it would catch it. Because the only difference in power dots and trend power dots is the placing of them. They're the same dots, we just paint them different colors. Pardon me, like Charles used to say, I got a tickle in my throat. All right, so we've got different object types set up. You could even do, for instance, a auto region close. That would put your little box like that right there. You could even tell it, hey, I don't want it just because you're touching the box. Maybe you want 2 ticks out of it. Okay. And that gives you all these different object types right there. Okay. And I could choose, let's say I only wanted to do 3 contracts, or well, let's just do 2. Even if you did 2, you would only get in the trade if one of those criteria was hit. Okay. You've also got predictor above. If that actually goes below that predictor, it would also fire the trade. So there's quite a few entries on it. But the main thing to know is this isn't going to be a true trend change until it takes out what we call the line in the sand long short. Okay. So if you were to take this trade, for instance, you would simply watch your Phantom here. And basically this is at like 5:10 p.m. So the market wasn't moving very much. There's your trade right there. I would put my stop right there for the time being. Okay. For some reason that didn't trigger again. There's your second contract. Okay. And that's the most you're going to get. And if you just wanted, for instance, let's say that you just want like, I don't know, what do you think? $300 good enough? Or just leave your stop in and see if you can get more. Because believe me, a lot of times you can. All you got to do is wait for the stair step. It's got a stair step. So basically willing to give up $380 because that's my swing right there. Okay. But you could also tighten your stop a little bit more because if this was to actually go up very much higher than this, you might not want the trade. Okay. So you're up $50. And that's called a phantom trade. Okay. Now we got in that one a little bit late. Okay. Because actually the reason is because it had already gone up there and, well, we just didn't get it at the right spot. But you could have, because our scripts, this turned off for some reason. I got to figure out why that did that, because my object type should have been still on. Okay. It may be playback, because playback's funny. Okay. So there's your little trade right there. Now, if you decided to hold this trade with what we call the lightning or with your stop, you can do that a lot of times. There's times where I've been up, a couple of $100, held a resistance area and literally just cleaned up, but you can almost count on the fact they're gonna test you a couple of times. They usually do. Okay. But see, we can actually, even if we wanted to, we say, you know what, if you come back at all, I could actually take, let's say, got power dot on. We could do a phantom again. See if we get that. We could do an auto region close and wait for the bar to actually close before we execute it. And see if you can get even something else like that. Okay. Let's see. But it seems like a broke lightning too going up. And so well, basically it's not a trend change at that point. For an aggressive trader, yes. For a conservative trader, your line in the sand long short's 86.26. Okay. That's going to change on some charts though, because keep in mind that, let's say for instance, this had dropped a lot and then you had a 1, 2, 3 pulls back and gives a higher low. And then let's say you've got a higher area that you could actually hit possibly, then that could be a good trade. But see with this right here, that's actually what, at 86.26, and that's actually a little bit lower high than that. So they're more than likely would be heading down again. Okay. Now, like I've said in the room before, I wish Apex would let a trader take a box trade and try to get 10 ticks long on one chart and short the other chart, but they will not do that. If you go short on one account and long on another, they'll shut you down in a heartbeat. At least I've heard that. I've never heard of anybody doing it or getting shut down, but I'm too afraid to test them because, frankly, I've got some pretty good PAs, so I don't want to give them up. I even read one deal where they said they could even just shut you off and, not refund your money and uh, close your account basically. So I definitely don't want to go against them on something like that. And I can see their point, to be truthful, because there's a lot of traders that don't scalp. We're scalpers. We scalp trades and we get runners, but we scalp a lot too. We still got that turned on, so we'll try to get 3. Okay. Now, does this make anybody nervous that you got a low, you got a high, you got a lower low? This is the kind of noise on the left. This does have a little swing right there that they've tested. See it right here? That's your lightning 2 right there that Mindy's talking about. So if they were to break this and kiss it, just like we talked about a few minutes ago, if they did this, then we would be looking for longs. If they come up in this area here and roll over, we're still looking for shorts. Okay. Now this is just, I'll go ahead and go into another trade. This may not even do anything for a while. Doesn't look like it wants to. Okay. Everybody understand what a phantom is? If you'll watch that video that's in that, basically in the trading manual part, you'll understand what a phantom is, because phantoms can make, can make a world of difference in your trading. By the way, a lot of our traders actually, when they get in a phantom trade like this, they put their stop at line 8 on a short, which is right there. Let's see, did it go to 8? Yeah, there it is. It's at 8. Okay. So then you're protected, because if this is going to change trends, I'm going to get a good long. I'm not really worried about $200 or $300. Okay. Now, if you've got like those smaller accounts, like 25 or something like that, I wouldn't let it go that much against you. But you've already calculated where the long short line in the sand is, and it's right there, conservative wise. Okay. All right. And if you did want to do 4, you would just simply turn on object type. We could even still do a trend power dot or a phantom or a regular power dot, and even add one if we wanted to by just simply turning that on. Okay. All right, I'm going to go to another chart here in a few minutes, and we're going to talk about the midband trade setup. Okay, this was a midband trade setup right here. These are some of the most beautiful trades you'll get is when they break support. See, here's your line of the sand long short right here, and they break that, you're pretty much shorting it. Okay, but if you miss that trade, all you got to do is wait for that one, and they show up all the time. Why would you box it rather than just clicking the phantom object trader type? Well, I was showing you, Dave, how you can actually do it any way you want. I'm not saying that that's definitely the way that I would trade that, but your object types are there if you want to use them like that. For instance, I could even, let's say I wanted to do a bar close to the short side. I can even do that if I want to. If a bar closes down, it'll give me another contract. How'd you get to the black screen with just numbers on it, Casey? We've got a template on the website. Let me show it to you. I think I shut that down though, didn't I? Let me go into Viper real quick. I'll show you where that's at. Just go to your login, go to download your latest scripts, click on it, and here's your templates right here. Download it, and when you open it, you'll find that you've got webinar alerts, which is that black screen. Okay, that's the one I use a lot in webinars, and I use it myself even when I'm looking at a lot of noise. I just go, okay, what's this thing really doing? And you can usually tell, okay, just by kind of throwing out all the trees. You basically want to see the individual trees or the individual, the way it's looking, the true trend and everything, rather than just looking at the whole forest. You want to kind of get down to that level. I like that. And you just put that in your template file. Oh, we got 4. Now we're feeling a little bit of heat on this, but our stop's still in. Now there's a guy in our room. He may even be in here. Let me see if he is. Yeah, Bob's not in here right now. He knows how to trade this because he would get in this phantom trade right here, add another one like I did over here just a few minutes ago, and put his stop at line 8. Because if they take out line 8, they're changing the midband. And you can almost bet that if they change that trend, the midband, they're going to head up because it's actually going to be breaking trends. And that's what we're going to talk about here in a few minutes is the actual trend change type trade. Okay, now see how you're feeling no heat now and you're in a little bit of coin. Well, then what you got to do is you got to decide, okay, where's this thing going? Well, got a pretty good thrust retrace. So how about a new measured move tool? What do you think? We've got a new measured move tool that's pretty cool. Okay, let me see if I can draw it. So I'm going to do a measured move from here to here to here, and should be a target somewhere down in this area right here even. Okay, and I'm going to put one target right at the bottom, right at the swing. That's what you do there. So this is going to be a new measured move tool, but he's got a Ninja Trader doesn't let you do a lot with their stuff. It's amazing. We're trying to get this icon to where it's going to be MM for measured move, but you can't just draw an icon called measured move. So we put a pencil there because it's one of their drawing tools. Okay, but we're gonna get this figured out to where this will actually say measured move. You're also going to have a new drawing tool for the horizontal line that'll be in here. It'll actually say like line labeler or something like that, like LL, something like that. But now you could still keep in mind, you can do this type of thing with Fibonacci extensions. What I like about boxes is that I literally know about where this trade is heading simply because of the fact that that's a measured move, okay? And I like the idea of the boxes because it also gives me an idea of where I'm going to go long if it breaks up, okay? So that's how that works. Let's speed this up a little bit. I helped somebody a little while ago and I didn't have time to get to the morning time, but let's see what this trade did. I'm curious. I got it going about 30 times. We'll see what it does. Now you're starting to stair step, by the way. See there? So could you put your stop now just above the swing? Yeah, as a matter of fact, look at that drop. See this is the beauty of this particular line tool right here. This is one of my favorite things on this chart right here is the new line tool, because guess what? I could actually say, you know what? I'm going to move all of you down here to that measured move, and I'm going to put my stop at midband. All I'd have to do that would be to go L4, midband, and boom, it goes right to midband, just like that. Okay? Now, what if this did take this out? So what? Now, I might dump some of these contracts, though, before I do that. And one thing you can actually do, too, with our tools is, let's say, for instance, if a bar closes up, all you'd have to do is say, you know what, if you close up at all, I'm going to take one contract off. It'd be that easy to do. And it more than likely will form a bar up. See how you're in two now? But look at that thing just, whoa, I didn't know it did that. Okay, there's your measured move though. I'll just about bet you hit that measured move. You want to see? Let's see if we do. Just curious. Bingo. Wasn't that beautiful? So you're going to be able to draw your measured moves on your charts. That's coming with this new drawing tool. Your new horizontal line will actually lock in at the particular levels. It won't do like fractions or something like that. Okay. Okay. Now let me ask you a quick question. If you were trading this, could you tell it bounced off a measured move, by the way? So I'm kind of looking like maybe this could start heading up. See your low, your high, your higher low, your higher high, just barely. There's your swing over here to the left, like so. See it right there? That's lightning. So if they break that, they would be heading up. But keep in mind, they could also do another phantom. Okay. But one thing I want to teach everybody tonight, if you get a move like this, then do this to your chart. Say, you know what? I'm kind of through with you there because you did awesome for me and I'm happy. Okay. Because if you'll become a trader like that and not get into all this chop after you do this kind of a move, you'll do like this. And I want to show you something. This isn't in any way, shape, or form to brag, but this was today on one of my PA accounts. If I can open it up, there it goes right there. Okay, this is one of my PAs right here. Remember, I bought some 150,000s. I only traded one of them today. I got 45.30. The account's up to 21,378, so I got plenty of drawdown. I'm already drawing on this account, by the way. So, it's just a matter of the 1st to the 5th, you turn in a request for a payment. The 15th to the 20th, you turn in another request. And they'll give you, well, once you get past 3 months, they'll give you whatever you want. But I like to keep a good amount in, at least 10,000, because that way, when you're trading, you're not worried about $300 or $400 here and there. Okay, so that's True PA. This is one of the newer ones. I haven't traded it just yet, Apex has these sales on like this, and you can just grab another account for like 50 bucks. You know, it's pretty good to have. And then you got your others that you got down below here. Okay. But this is the way to do that. Okay. Because if you got up like this, would you keep trading? Or would you say, you know what, that's pretty good for the day. Why don't I just quit? Okay. But let's go over, I'm going to stop the trading part. I just wanted to show you like a phantom type trade and where you put your stop. Okay. But now what I want to show you is to get some live data on here. Bear with me a second. And we're going to go over those mid-band trades so you can see exactly how to take them. Okay. Because taking mid-band trades is pretty good. By the way, oil had some moves after we closed the room too. That's why I got that extra money today. Now, hopefully this will load my Apex account this time of night with a webinar, but we'll see. Give it just a minute. And then we're going to go over several instances of great mid-band and phantom setups. It's not loading yet. And there it goes. Bear with us a second to load the charts. Still loading it. That should be loaded. There we go. All right. So let's go ahead and go over some actual trade setups. Okay. We're going to go to the date and everything. Wow, that's on March 31st. What in the world? Apex, what are you doing to me? Bear with me a second. Whenever you do playback, this does this. Sometimes it's weird. I'm going to go to the 8th, and that should give us our data. All right, so let's talk about some setups, okay? What I'm going to do to be fair with this is I'm just going to simply go from the time the room opened, okay? The room opens right at 7:40, okay? So the room wasn't open for this trade right here. See it, mid-band trade, perfect mid-band trade. Change trends, at least the colors were. First time in the mid-band after a trend change, good trade, okay? But we weren't open here, so let's go to where we were open. Opened up at 7:40. So let me ask you a question, okay? If you were to trade this trade and you got in early even on it, okay, first off, I would recommend doing a Fibonacci retracement. Very important to do. That to me, with that little of a burst, I'd want at least 61 to 76%, okay? But if you were to get in this trade, okay, where's the line in the sand long short on this chart if you decided, you know, for instance, if this did decide to break down, you can see it real clear. This is your line in the sand long short right here. So anything above that, you're pretty much looking for longs. Okay. Now, how deep will they go? We don't actually know yet. Okay. We know that we had a thrust retrace here. That looks like a 61. So now we need to draw our fibs here. And our Fibonacci is going to be way over there. So I'll have to use a different one. Let's use the fib that's on here so that we can see it. All right. So let's see, 61. It's already at 61 right now. Here's 76. So I'm going to draw a line. But we don't want to go under this. Okay, so anything above this, I'm looking for a long trade. Okay, now this trade was actually called in the room this morning. And by the way, you can get into the habit where you can just simply wait for the trade to just perfectly come to you. See how that trade did? And that trade was boxed in the room this morning, and we nailed it. Now that is a mid-band trade, but a little bit deeper. Okay, notice how it just bounced off of 61. And we boxed this little puppy in the room this morning, just right there, just like that. Where would our stop have been? Anybody? Very important to know that, because you had a low here, a high, kind of slopping around, double top, but did it take out that low right there at 86.02? No. So that was a higher low. That's why we went long there. Okay. So when you get a trade like this, keep in mind that all it takes literally is one or two good trades like that one to make your day. I mean, they literally make your day if you'll just simply wait for them to come to you. Okay. And I personally like to draw on my chart to know where the line in the sand long short is. Because keep in mind, if you miss this trade, let's say that you missed this, did you know you can practically turn on our tools for the next trade setup? I want to show you what I'm talking about, because I called this in the room too this morning. But see, this was our long trade right here. This is a deep mid-band trade, but it's still a mid-band trade. It did not change the background colors. Okay. It stayed above the previous low, so you were good to go there. Okay. Notice how it started stair stepping. And that's when you get these monster nice trades like this. And look what this did. It was a monster trade. Did it also give you a yellow bar, what we call a mid-band trade? This was also called in the room this morning. This trade, you're waiting for a pullback in the mid-band. See how our predictor actually predicts that trade right there? And you just simply get ready to box it in. But keep in mind that if they go up, for instance, on a mid-band trade, which was called live in the room, and they don't take out that top right there, you got to start being a little bit more concerned about it, because where's your line in the sand long short on this particular chart? Anybody? Because I can tell you where it's at right now, because I drew it in the room this morning, and we don't have to wait for it to be broken to draw it. You got a high here, you got a low, you don't have a higher high yet. So this is a line in the sand long short. Okay. Now, if you miss the long trade, keep in mind that when they finally break these line in the sand long short, you can actually turn on our little tool called Object Trader and look for the opposite mid-band trade. Okay. You want me to prove that to you? Because it actually happened, and it happens all the time. Goes up a little bit more, you're great. See how it's going and going and going. Where's your line in the sand long short now? Okay, you got a great trade. Your line in the sand long short right now is right there. Okay, are they heading up anymore? No, they're not. See, they broke the line in the sand long short. See how that worked? Okay, now this is actually what we call a true trend change. An aggressive trend change is a 1, 2, 3 where it breaks this, but you're going to get bipped more times than you make money if you do that one. You got to wait for it to break a swing. If you draw lightning 3 on this chart, you'll clearly see that that's your swing. See there? That's why I draw those in the room in real time, because they're seen in real time. Okay. Notice that we got a red background. Okay. The market started dropping a little bit. It changed my mid band to a magenta color. Okay. This trade could easily be taken when it breaks and kisses and rolls right there. Okay. But if you miss that, keep in mind, we've got a tool called Midband Trader that will actually look for this trade right there. That's a mid-band trade. Now, granted, you missed a bunch. No question about it. That thing just dropped like a stone. Remember, we actually even boxed this in this morning on Phantom, and it could have bipped somebody in just a little bit right through here. That's a Phantom trade, except that it had already broken line in the sand long short. But let's say you boxed it right there, and you went up, and then it went back into the box. You get out of it. It breaks the box again. You can short that thing and put your stop above it. Okay. But this trade right here, if you'll train your mind to see first time in the mid band after a trend change, this is this is your go-to trade right there. Okay. And if you'll learn to see that trade, believe me, you'll make some good money trading it. But you've got to always draw on your charts, and you will see where your line in the sand long short is. You know, for instance, if this doesn't take out this low down here, this would be my line in the sand long short. That would be a trend change if it broke that. If it broke it and kissed it and headed up. Okay. You don't want to just take the breakout unless you take the breakout and only if it goes your way. You can't let it even try to go against you or they'll clean you out. Okay. But see how this rolled over. Okay. Turned into a beautiful trade. There's another mid-band trade. See it? Our scripts just catch these. They're beautifully designed scripts. That's a mid-band trade. Looks like a 61% retracement to me. And I'd take that trade in a heartbeat. If I wasn't trading gold or ES or something like that, it depends what I'm trading. But you can draw your Fibonacci on that and see that's almost a 61, almost 60. It's a 50. I'd still take a 50 on that move too, and it did roll over and turned into a beautiful trade too. Everybody see that? So what I'm teaching tonight, and it's 7:46 now, so we're getting a little shorter on time, but what you're wanting to look for is this. That's a circle. I need this one. You're looking for that trade, okay? You're looking for that trade, this trade. These are mid-band type trades. This is a little deeper right here, but it was still called in the room. More than likely it was even a Fibonacci if I remember right. But you can clearly see another way to take this too is if you get a little bar up, you know, it tries to come back and it gives you a higher low. Just go ahead and grab it, put your stop underneath the box. It kind of tried to fake us, but then it went up. But it never took out the box. Okay. So train your mind to see these trades right here, mid-band trade, a little deeper mid-band, good Fibonacci retracement, beautiful mid-band, stair-stepping mid-band, my favorite mid-band trade. Because keep in mind, see, at the time this was right here, this was 7 o'clock in the morning. And have you ever seen some of these medical shows where somebody flatlines? That's a flatline. But it's still a good trade. But look how much better the stair-stepping are. See it stair-stepping, 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 boom, mid-band trade. Stair-steps again, stair-steps again. You know, you get these bounces off predictor and stuff like that. When they finally break, and they break good and hard. And you'll see them when they break those lines in the sand long short. And by the way, if you miss the mid-band trade, then just simply turn on your scripts for the phantom trade, because most times when they change a trend, they will give you a phantom trade. Okay, let's see if this one did. I'm curious. Mid-band trade. Still another beautiful mid-band trade. There's a phantom right there. Now, when did this start heading up? Anybody? When it breaks the line in the sand long short. Low, high, lower low. Low, high, higher low. Starting to tell you it's trying to head up. So if you're an aggressive trader, it breaks that, you go long. If you're more of a conservative trader, it's got to break that to go long. Everybody see that? And then what are you looking for? Well, you're looking for another mid-band trade. Let's see if it got it. Just curious. Stair-stepping mid-band. That's the key. Stair-stepping mid-band, not that flat line. Beautiful trade though, wasn't it? There's a mid-band trade right there. Does anybody just salivate when you see those type of trades? We've got people in the room that all the time look for that trade, but it's got to stair step. Or like we took that one early this morning, this was a tad more on the iffy side, except for the fact that when it happened, you clearly had a low, a high, a higher low, barely higher high. If you draw your lightning, you'll see it. Let me draw it. So where was the line in the sand along short at that time? And what did they do? They came down and gave you a higher low. See, that's really important right there. That was a high, that was a low, that was a higher high. That was a lower, that was a little higher. Well, it's same, it's a double top. So then you go back here, and if they break this, you're heading down. Okay. You understand now, but in real time, you don't see those. Well, the thing is about even real time, Deb, is I think a lot of people, what they end up doing is they're looking at too many other charts. I even find myself getting in that rat race, so to speak, occasionally because I'm trying to look at gold, I'm trying to look at ES, I'm trying to look at YM. But to really clearly look at your charts and see your line in the sand long short is literally worth its weight in gold. I mean, it pays off big time. Okay. And it gets you these monster nice trade setups, like, you know, for instance, like right here that was called in the room. It gave a beautiful trade again, but look when it broke. See the high, the low, higher high. When it broke this area right here, did it break it and kiss it and roll over? Yes. And that's what you're looking for. Okay. So basically, so far in this webinar, we got about 9 minutes left. I would highly recommend watching for the first time in the midband after a trend change. Even if you miss a long, for instance, wait for it to break and then get that midband trade because they pay off real, real well. And if you're already through trading for the day and you don't want that trade, if you got this trade that I called this morning, we got almost what, gosh, almost 100 ticks on that trade if you held it. And that trade was called live in the room this morning. We literally nailed that trade. Now, I did mention you could be out and back in it right here. You could have held on to this trade too. You want to try to get a thrust, a retrace, and another thrust. And then pretty much after that, you got to start watching your coin. 1, 2, 3, watch your coin. Pull back a little bit, you're okay. They start breaking, they break support, and you're going short. And that happens all the time. What do they do when they break resistance? They go up. See? And then look what they did, stair step and gave you a mid-band trade. They're just all over the place. And this was at 10:30 after we closed the room. But see how that works? This little trade here, where was your line in the sand long short? Well, it was right here at the time. We closed the room. See the high, the low, the higher high? So if they break that area right there and kiss it, see, they break it and kiss it and roll, you can short that. Especially if you get my colors changing and everything, because that works. Okay? Anybody traded after that though? Because I'm here to tell you, oil did a beautiful. I traded it after the room closed. You want to see what actually happened? You got a line in the sand long short right through here, like so. Didn't break it. They just rolled and kissed it and rolled. See there? No trade yet. There's a low, there's a high, there's a higher low. That's your line in the sand long short. You could actually be long above that. That's a lightning 3. But if you missed it, then guess what? You wait for the mid-band type trade to set up or phantom, and look at that phantom. Perfectly kissed, right where you thought it would. They break up, they pull back and kiss. So let me ask you a question. If you got that trade right there, okay, this is a true phantom trade, by the way, and always look at your fibs too. You know, for instance, if you missed that trade here, and that's a little iffy in my opinion, because your line in the sand long short is also right there. See the low, the high, the lower low, but a lightning 3 is pretty important, okay? Our script will even change when you go potential long trend. It'll actually flash the bar. It should have flashed that bar. Probably wouldn't because we don't. It's probably too far back in time. Let's change that to 1440. And that should flash that bar. Potential long. It's going to flash it or not. You got a low, you got a high, you got a higher low. It definitely should flash that. Oh, I bet it's that one right there. That's why. That's a dragonfly. You can't see it. That's a gravestone. Sorry, not a dragonfly. But if that had any body to it, it would be flashing. This one wouldn't because it's the next bar. What we did is we had it only flash on the bar that goes above it, and that is the bar that went above it. Okay, but that doesn't mean you can't box it in and take that trade too. But once you get this little thrust up, once you get this pullback, then look to draw your Fibonacci's, because when you get a thrust like this, I would be looking for, since it already checked this one, I'd be looking for 61 or even 76. So I draw lines on my charts, and I'll usually even grab a contract here and here, and then my stop would be right here. So see what it actually did. It pops down, it got to 61, right? So your same top there. You got your 61 and you got you a phantom trade. Our phantom trades, by the way, when it changes this color right here and you're stair stepping the midband, as a rule, what you're doing, and this makes this pretty simple, is the fact that you're actually counting on it doing a thrust. There's your original thrust. Sorry about that. Extended line. There we go. I got to learn where my lines are. There's your thrust. There's your retrace. And you expect it to do another thrust. And the key to actually trading phantoms is that when you bounce like that, they're more than likely going to do like a measured move, to give an example. Let's see if this will draw without. I didn't get it drawn. There we go. I still didn't draw that right. Just a second. This is a new tool to even me. Let's see. So there's your thrust. I know what I'm doing. Actually, I'm actually clicking that when I shouldn't be. I should be drawing my next point. So let's try it one more time. Because you can do this in real time. There we go. And see how that did a measured move? Even took it out. So if you're trading this and you draw your measured move, take some coin. That's a measured move, and you're going to have this tool very shortly. Doesn't mean you can't take a stair-stepping midband. Good trade. Okay. Where's your line in the sand long short? Anybody on that chart? Anybody? Well, if you weren't in a trade, just wait for another midband trade. Anybody see what oil did? I literally got a bunch of this afternoon, but I had to quit trading because I kept getting calls to put scripts on and things. We ran a open house, so we had a trial, so I had to put some scripts on. But look what oil actually did. There's a midband trade, by the way. Could you tell where the measured move is on that one? Let's see if we can before we even see it. So there's your thrust. There's your retrace. There's your thrust. So your measured move would be right up in here. See if it hit it. There it is. Another midband trade. You want to see if it even went up from there? Let's find out. Let's see if we can do one more measured move. Okay, so we'll take this off. We'll draw our measured move from there to there. Measured move would be right up there. It's heading there. That's going to be a neat new tool. I like it better than my boxes that I draw in the room, because this way you'll actually pick your points. But see, it's right in the very moment that oil is trading, even right now, trying to get there. So let me ask you a question. Could midbands change the way you're trading and phantoms? And there's some of our people that will literally get in this midband, like right here, for instance. Okay, it's stair stepping midband, and they get a 10 tick trade. They go back to break even, but they actually hold their runner. Now, I'm not recommending this all the time because they can be trend changes, but where's your line in the sand long short? It's right down here. Now, I wouldn't put my stop that deep, but I would watch it. I would probably put my stop more like that instead. But see, they come down a lot of times and then literally bounce again. See there? So a lot of our people will look for a trade like that, go ahead and get in a mid band, take their 10 ticks, ride a runner and let it go against them a little bit to try to get these gusto runs. Because a lot of times they'll do just like that. Okay? Everybody get a little bit out of this tonight. These mid-band trades, it's not just, looking at charts after the fact and things like that. This is literally trading the way it's taught. And you'll be so surprised if you'll watch predictors, you'll watch your Fibonacci's, you'll get some great trade setups. And then draw your measured move with your new tool when you get it, or even draw the boxes for now. The box would simply be thrust, retrace, and thrust. And they hit that one perfectly, see it? Then you do another one, thrust, retrace, and thrust. And that's your measure move they're going for now. You like this lesson tonight? Well, one thing about our room, our room, if anybody ever disparages it in any way, shape, or form, they're wrong, because I even put Gary Wow on this one, because this was actually done in real time today. And that particular, that's just one of my accounts, by the way, but it's well above 21,000 now. So I can draw another $5,000 on it or whatever I want to do. Okay. Matter of fact, 45 of it was today. I did draw on it the first of the month, this month already, but I will always keep in at least $10,000 or $11,000 in it, because I like a little cushion. Because even if you're trading two contracts, you want to keep a little bit of cushion, because, for instance, I've drawn on these charts and shown you where the line in the sand long short is. So as long as they're above it, can you buy to the long side? Where's the line in the sand long short right now? For tomorrow morning or overnight, where's your line in the sand long short on this chart? It's right there. So let me ask you a question. If you miss this whole move right here, could you very possibly turn on your short mid-band? And if they break this and kiss and roll, I'll bet you it's a mid-band trade. Okay? And that will make you a lot of money when you're trading. Like I said, I traded this little trade this afternoon, but all I traded to, if I remember, it was about 2 o'clock, was, well, matter of fact, I think it was this measured move right here. I'm pretty sure that was it. And you got a nice measured move. Now, I don't recommend, if you've got like an Apex account, I would not hold 3 or 4 contracts with a pullback from high to mid-band, because that's 24 ticks. Okay, that'll set you back $1,000 bill with Apex, and you could lose an account pretty easily. So don't do that. If you get in a trade like this, for instance, and you get a thrust up, it doesn't hurt to carry one, because look at that. It literally went up the rest of the day. You would have had to close it out by 3 o'clock though, which was up in here. But what a beautiful trade setup, right? But see, we already know, without a shadow of a doubt, we know where this will change trends, because I've already drawn it for you. And we know where it's going to, because I've already drawn that for you. Now, if it doesn't make that measured move, and you start getting a high, a low, a lower high, and lower lows, then they're going to test this. But until then, you're riding a runner. Okay? Now, let's go one more time, because somebody may have come in a little bit late, possibly. So let me go to vipertradingsystems.com, and we'll go to our login. Okay. So members and even people that have taken the 10-day trial, I ran a 10-day trial, by the way, on your email. This trial is normally $39.99, but I took 20 bucks off of it. So it's $19.99 if a person wants to just try our scripts out. Now, members, you don't care about this because this gives you good scripts, but they only trade in sim. Okay. But what you want to do is you want to go to your members login, go to your members area, and get that trading manual, because it will literally go through everything I just talked about tonight. Trading manual, trading manual. It takes a moment to load. I've got it on my desktop, but I just streamed it instead. Computer's pretty fast, but it's still not loaded yet. See there? Let's give it a minute. There we go. All right. So be sure and go to this little area right here. Let me get this desk out of the way. This area right here. You want to learn what I taught tonight about phantoms? Click the button. Want to learn about midbands? This is only a 17 to 19 minute video. This is an hour. This is a full webinar on this one right here. If you click it and play it, it's an hour and 12 minutes. Okay? But it will definitely teach you how to do midband trades, which we love, phantom trades, which we love. Fibonacci, by the way, we've even built some tools for fibs. That's a 61% retracement or a 50. You can actually set your Fibonacci trader to take that trade at a 50% and just let it do its thing. Okay? And keep in mind, when they change trends, you want to be on the other side of that trend, right? Okay? High, low, higher, high. That's pretty much your line in the sand long short for aggressive trader, and this is your line in the sand long short for a conservative trader. And both traders made big bucks. Okay? And keep in mind that this is just crude oil. We also had some great trades on gold today. You know, if you go to your gold trade, look at that monster at 1 o'clock. But we traded it when? At the room time, didn't we? So let me ask you a question. Went from a long with a phantom to a short breakdown, first midband trade after a trend change. What a monster. And you say, oh gosh, I missed that one. Well, guess what? Our predictors will get you more. There's another one right there. So, and then when it changes trends, you're ready to take it the other way. Okay? That's all there is to it. These trade setups like this are beautiful. You want to see something here real quick? I'll bet you I'm seeing a trend change here. So you have a thrust retrace. Okay, that looks like about a 61 to 76%. Let's see if you get a phantom. No phantom yet. No phantom yet. There's your phantom background right there. So let me ask you a question. If you took this trade right here, this is a phantom trade, where could you put your stop? Well, a lot of our people would just say, you know what? I'll just put my stop right there at line 0. Okay. They would then box in the trade, something like that. Not in the trade yet. You're in the trade. See it? Broke the box. You've got your stop in. It hadn't taken you yet. That came deeper. See what it does. There's a higher low. Should take out this swing right here if it's going to head up. And your target's right here and here. Let's see if it did any of that. There's one target pretty close. Came back again. It's another trade, by the way. Let's see if it gets those. There it is. There it is. Bingo. You got one of your targets, and there's your next target. And isn't that good enough? Now, keep in mind, you could have traded this as one trade that gets 10 ticks, stop out at break even, get in again, and there's your next trade. So that's 2 trades, actually. But what if you just held it and said, you know what? I'm just going to hold line 0 until it gets to my target. And did it get to your target? And then some. See how that works? Phantom trades, first time after trend change. Midband trades, first time after trend change. And you'll see them work time and time again. And always check your fibs. Okay? Everybody, I hope you have a great night. We're going to do this again tomorrow. Now, keep in mind, we had some monster moves today. So be a little bit more cautious tomorrow just in case. But we're going to look at the same thing. We're going to draw line in the sand long shorts. We're going to draw Fibonacci retracements, and we're going to draw boxes to get us into these trades. You could have missed this trade entirely, and it just gotten this trade and probably made $1,000. See how that works? Our scripts are good. And we're good at calling trades too. Do you primarily focus on CL? Does the trial include indicators? Well, Wayne, there's two trials. There's actually a trial. Let me see if I close that out real quick. Yeah, I closed it out, but let me go back into it for you. All right, let's go back in. On our home page, we've got two different trials. Okay, we've got a free trading room trial that simply gets you the trading room and a little bit of videos to watch. And you just click this little link right here, and it'll go into this right here. And you just simply put in your email and your full name and a phone number. The reason for that is because we want to also be in touch with you, like with, when we have an open house or something like that. If you ever want to opt out of, you can just unsubscribe from the email. But we do like to have your email on file. We won't bug you with a whole bunch of emails, I promise you. Okay, but we have another trial. This one is strictly the trading room. This one here is a 10-day trial, and it includes the scripts. I did on your email yesterday, they'll give you a coupon code that you put in right here, and it'll give you 20 bucks off of that. So for 19 bucks, you can actually get some really, really, really good training and some scripts. And then you'll fall in love with Viper. And we were talking in the room this morning, several people in the room this morning said, man, I've been with you 9 years. I've been with you 12. I've been with you 13. We're the real deal. We've got people that have been with us for a long, long time. And one of the reasons, if you think about it, even on my regular pricing on the site, we're only that. And I usually will give like a $50 off as a promotion to begin with, so it gets you to $249, and then look at what you could have made today just on the trade calls. That was just one account. I did some other accounts too, but that's all you got to do, and then you just collect the money from Apex. See, that's not a evaluation account. That's a PA. PA means performance account. That's real money, so they pay you real money. Okay. All right. It is, Wayne. One thing about it, I won't lie to you and say that you're going to pick this up in just a few days. I've had people take our trial and think, wow, this is a lot to learn. But keep in mind, you don't have to learn everything. I'll give you an example. My business partner of 13 years never used Object Trader for more than boxing in. Now, I built it to where you can use it for boxing in, you can use bar close trades, you can use trendline trades, you can do Fibonacci trades, you can do all kinds of trade setups, and you can even do multiple object types now, which means you can get in whichever one sets up. But I can promise you that it's not that hard to learn. It'll take you a few weeks though. Kenneth, let me answer your question. The latest offer from Apex said flipping one contract in evaluation accounts during promotion for the trading day is allowed. What does that mean? Flipping one contract. I'd have to read that, Kenneth. To me, flipping a contract means going the opposite direction, but how would they know that anyway? You're getting out of a long and into a short. Maybe I don't think they really care how you trade when you've got an evaluation account. What they're more interested in is when a person has a trader has a performance account that you have to kind of be a little bit more stickler to the rules. I have not broken a rule with them though. I have traded news events. I do it very cautiously, like with one contract, but they don't like you to trade the news, but they don't mind you trading through the news, which that means that you are already in the trade. And I haven't had them say a word and they keep paying, so I'm fine. Okay, so I hope everybody enjoyed the webinar, and we'll see you in the morning. Have a great rest of your evening, and we'll see what 40 days from now does. Pentecost, we'll find out. It was an eclipse today that, from what I understand, didn't they say it's going to be like 70 some odd years before we get another one? So that's a long time. So it was kind of neat. Even in Oklahoma, when we went outside, it was kind of dark, and you could see kind of like a toenail, basically left of the sun. The rest of it was dark. It was pretty cool. But just remember who put that all in the skies. It's not by accident. It's all timed perfectly, and he knows every single thing that's going on with it. And that amazes me beyond belief, that any being of any kind could actually be so infinitely, just basically all knowing, for instance. I mean, he knows the beginning from the end. He knows every move we're going to make. That's weird to me, because he knows literally what you're going to do before you do it. But we still do it of our free will. That's strange. But anyway, everybody have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you in the morning. Thanks for coming. Hope you enjoyed it. And by the way, somebody asked about Apex. Like today is the 8th. You can't draw on Apex until the 15th, I believe it is, 15th to the 20th. Man, I'm getting older because that just left me. That's weird. 15th to the 20th. And then they pay by the 31st. When you draw on the 1st to the 5th, they pay you on the 15th. And they do allow you to have 2 withdrawals a month. When you're first with them, depends on the size account, but let's just go with a $50,000 account. They let you draw $2,000 twice a month, as long as you trade 10 days between, which there's 22 days in a month, so you can do that. So you can draw $4,000 per account. And just think, if you had 5 accounts trading like we teach, you could literally have a $20,000 a month income pretty easily. Yeah, there's nothing, I mean, money's a tool, just don't let it own you. Just realize that everything you make belongs to him to begin with. But I'll teach you how to do it, and our scripts will do it too. Okay, we'll see everybody in the morning. Adios. It's not letting me shut down the webinar. Bear with me just a second. There it goes, finally. All right, see you in the morning.